All right, you guys. Well, we're waiting for everybody to come on in. Where are you guys from?
Ohio.
Ohio. Next row. Maryland. We were just there. Indiana. It's been a minute. It's there in fall. Delaware. We were just there. We stayed at Lum Pond. It is. We rode bikes for like 42 miles that day, electric bikes, around the lake continuously, wound up with no power in the dark, nothing. It was an awesome ride. That is a great place.
Showing it's 12:40 now, so you got 15 minutes, so you're supposed to start.
I don't think so. I think they'll start early. Did you guys, everyone's out? They let everyone out of the classes?
Pretty much.
Okay. That's a beautiful place. I love that park. All right, next row. Where are you guys from? Canada. Fantastic. What part? Ontario? Same? And you? Maryland. I was just there. Philly. Awesome. Canada. What part?
Ontario.
Canada's big, guys. It's huge. My husband and I live on a houseboat right outside in Seattle. So Vancouver is where I grew up going at 18 because some things can happen in Canada that can't other places. Texas, what part? Texas is big. Which part?
Huntsville.
I know where that's at. All right. And you? Same? And you? Illinois, what part?
60 miles south of Chicago.
Okay, cool. I know where you're at.
Saskatchewan.
Fantastic. And you guys?
Houston, Texas.
Houston. You guys had a long drive, huh? Yes. I should pull
It's
that
easier to
out.
come across the world than it is to come up the road.
So I'll introduce him. Husband. That's my husband, Michael, also Chief Operating Officer. He and I, we travel 9 months a year in 2 RVs. And let's see, in the last 30 days, how many states have we been in?
28.
28 states in the last 30 days. And this is what we do. We teach dealers how to market their business, strategy sessions, a lot of training and education. I have Miss Kathy Marshall in the very back. She's Vice President of our training and customer service programs. And I have Scott Smith in the back with the video camera. Darcy, that's who you need to go visit for a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And he's out of our video production and marketing team. And our team's kind of spread all across the nation. So CI Web Group has been the preferred digital marketing agency for years. HVAC basically owns and occupies us, along with plumbing and electrical and everything that comes with it. And so this is where we spend our time. You guys ready to rock and roll? So question, how many of you guys want to grow your business? Yes? There's a difference. Some want to sell and get out. Right off into the sunset. I am. Fantastic. You guys, what do you consider yourself ultimately? Maybe you're the owners. Okay. What are you really? Marketers. Okay. What else? Would you agree? You guys are effectively entrepreneurs. Bottom line, I am too. At some point we sat down with a spouse and we told them, we're going to do this on our own. We can do it better. And we're going to do it for a few reasons. What is your motivation for becoming an entrepreneur and dumping everything into it? Your life, your blood, your sweat, your tears, your debt, all your bank accounts, everything. Why'd you do it? You want more what? 3 things. Freedom, yes. Next. Money, absolutely. And? Time. Do you feel like you have it? Every entrepreneur goes through this same spell. They start off with the ultimate dream of more time, money, and freedom, and then they start the business. And all of a sudden, the goals of having more time, money, and freedom go out the kind of wayside because you spend all of your time working in the business. What if I said I wanted you to make a goal that you could take 3 weeks vacation off next summer? Is that fair? Is that a fair goal?
Lofty one.
Absolutely.
In the summer?
Yeah. Okay, in the winter, Saskatchewan's. I know you. In the winter. During your prime season. Why would I want that to be one of your goals?
Freedom.
There's a reason why we did this. We didn't all become entrepreneurs to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, dump everything we have into it, and convince our wife that a dealer meeting in Houston is a vacation. It's not. I know you. So, I say this because we're in the same boat. I get it. I left corporate, left a big paycheck and stock options and benefits and all the things that come with that. And what it takes to develop a business where you accomplish the goals you actually had from day one is an entirely different logic than what it is that we do every day as entrepreneurs working in the business, fighting fires, dealing with the next thing, whether it's staffing or money or new business or anything else. The challenge for entrepreneurs as well is, especially for you guys have a huge target on your back. For every salesperson selling everything under the planet. They think they can sell it to you and you won't know any better, especially if it's technical. There's no logic, there's no rhyme, there's no reason. Whatever it is they sell, they're trying to get it in your hands and get you to buy it. They don't ask questions about how long you've been in business, where you are in your company, what does your cash flow look like? Are you trying to hire more people and run a bigger company? You're trying to grow in size, trying to scale out? Do you have an exit plan? Want to sail off into the sunset? You need to hand the company over to your children? All of the things that entrepreneurs need to have as a part of their decision making to be able to prioritize, what are you going to invest in? So hopefully this helps, you guys. There is a sequence to being able to grow a business, especially in today's environment. In order to maximize your results, we have to do the right things in the right order at the right time. Every marketing activity that is implemented, even if it's the right activity, but if it's implemented out of sequence, you will see limited to no results from that investment. If it's not done, if there's no logic. I'm not a salesperson. My background is definitely operations, logistics, and technology. Process is missing from the sales piece, from the marketing piece, and that's what this will help with. So we have a program, it's called the 12-Step Roadmap to Achieve Accelerated Results. It's been tried and implemented, and it changes and evolves with consumers constantly. Marketing 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago is not the same today. Why? Because you guys are people, and you sell to other people, and human behaviors change as technology advances. So let me ask you guys this. Forget about the business for a second. As a person, mom, dad, husband, wife, homeowner, what do you do if you need something? Anything, what do you do? You look on your phone. What do you do what on your phone?
Research.
Research it. Where?
Google.
Google it. Raise your hand if you Google it. Look around. You need these numbers. Raise your hand, look around. Leave them up so everybody can see. Perfect. When you Google it, how many of you click on the ads at the very top? Raise your hand or look around. I'm not going to ask who's investing in pay-per-click right now. Okay? How many of you click on the maps? Raise your hand and look around. On the maps, on the first page of Google. Okay? How many of you click on a link on the first page of Google? Raise your hand and look around. How many of you go to page 2? Raise Raise your hand, look around. I have 3. That's the most in any class this year. Here's the beauty of marketing. It's logical. I would literally rather listen to a group of soccer moms than an advertising company any day. Because consumer behavior today, that's all that matters. So let me ask you this. When you guys land on a website that you clicked on from the first page, not an ad, if the website looks bad, scary, like a DIY project, what do you guys do? Back and next. Raise your hand if that's you and look around. You get your math. Okay? If you go to a website and it looks good, you can tell who they are, what they do, where they do it, how to reach them. What do you go look for next? Reviews. Raise your hand if you go check out reviews. Before you make the call, look around. Okay. Does anyone take it a step further and go check out the social media sites before they place a call? Ladies, go ahead and raise your hands. I already know. It's a trust factor. Want to know if you're public, they can trust you. Here is the beauty of marketing. This is all that matters. 100% of every audience follows the exact same path, and I've been asking these same questions for years. 10 years ago, I was standing in Dubuque, Iowa, speaking for a national conference of business owners, and I asked these questions, and everyone said, the mailer. I was like, oh God. They literally were still looking at mailers, flyers, the door hangers. The houses were X number of miles apart from each other. The majority were farms, and they didn't have good Wi-Fi. I spoke at the same conference this year. It is not the same answer today. So, that being said, essentially to market your business, it's this simple. What do you want to sell? Where do you want to sell it? Are you an option where people are looking? And do you look good when they get there? That's it. That is it. Step 1. It's your home base. It's your website. Websites have a life cycle of about, anybody want to guess about how long they last? Think about changing technology. You guys, the different kind of devices you're using now.
3 to 5 years.
5? Year and a half? About a year and a half to 2 years max. Max. You can maintain them, but after you hit that 18-month mark, you're on life support. If you're spending money on anything else and your website is faulty, then the money you're spending on everything else is not performing as well because the engine's broke, right? Your website is essentially, it's everything. It's your home base, it's your store, it's where they land, it's where they make a decision to move forward, move backwards, or away. And it doesn't matter if your business is a referral business. If you guys receive a referral to a company, are you just going to call and do business with them today? Are you guys going to look them up? Go through the same process, check out reviews? Okay. So, websites, effectively it's like a car that has to pass emissions test, has to pass compliance. Every year, Google is changing what's required as far as the infrastructure behind a website. So when you guys look at a website, it's like looking at clothing or the body of a car. When Google looks at the website, it's looking at the technical pieces, what's behind the scenes, code. Challenge is, you don't build cars, i.e. I can't build an air conditioner. The only thing I have to look at is the body. I have no clue about the guts inside. And you guys are in that same position. To build a website, you know what, actually let me use this. My husband bought a pair of $400 shoes yesterday. I gotta go here. Okay, we had this conversation. And I was like, I'm happy you bought them. Because I have a complete appreciation and understanding for replacement costs when you try and buy something cheap. Right? Yes, sir. I know how many shoes you throw away. So, the volume of shoes this man has bought year over year over year, and they're not nice shoes, because he refused to pay $400 for a pair of shoes, he has spent well over that. So when he bought these shoes and he came in, he's like, oh my God, he feels so good. And he's walking around, all funny. He said, I'll wear these forever. I'm like, right on. I love that you did that. Because the cost to replace it over and over, it's the same as a website. Okay? Hiring Bob, your buddy, your friend, having one of your employees, their boyfriend, your son, somebody who just got out of school and got trained on old processes for building a website. If they just got out of school, they're almost the worst. Okay? If you hire Bob, it's impossible. Because the people it takes to build a website, moms don't give birth to those personalities in one body. They just don't. You guys, anybody know a developer? And coders? Anyone want to guess what they're like? A coder. They write in code. You guys have seen a black screen with green text all over it on some movies and whatnot? They actually see a website in that garbage. They can't spell because everything they write is in little tiny pieces of code. Can't spell. They probably grew up hacking something and got in trouble in school. They worked in their garage. If they say they have friends over or they're hanging out with friends, there's no cars in the driveway because they're all online. Garage is actually a living space. Okay, they're different. Anybody know a designer, graphics artist? No? They're creative. They went to art school. They dress nice. They have real friends. Right? They're different. Anyone know an engineer? Do engineers guess? Do they make fast decisions? Because they're doing what?
Research.
Researching. Do I have one in here?
Yes.
I know. Do I have more than one? They're thinking, they're processing. You're not going to get a guess, you're going to get data. They can't make the decision if they don't have the information. They're also required to build a website. Content writers, totally different. Social media people, really different. Okay? Every one of these people is different, and they have to come together to build something. Security experts, server engineers, any one individual can mess up the whole process. You can build a beautiful website, develop it, design it right, and then the guy that's managing your server, they have an insecure server. And boom, your entire investment, garbage. Okay? So, website is first. Consider it your store. Secondly is content. You guys, Google is deaf and blind. It only reads Braille. And the Braille has to be unique. What do you want to sell? Where do you want to sell it? And what kind of questions are consumers asking? Essentially, content is the most important part of any marketing budget, and it's usually the least budgeted for item. They think it's part of a website. It's totally different. Every individual page you put on your website gives you the ability to get found in a different drawer. So if somebody is looking for AC service in Delaware, AC repair in Delaware, AC maintenance in Delaware, AC replacement in Delaware, AC installation in Delaware, or if someone is looking for air conditioner repair in Delaware, air conditioning repair in Delaware, air conditioner service in Delaware, air conditioner installation in Delaware. Make sense? Every individual page is like taking a pair of shoes and putting it in a store. The rest of this stuff is getting the shoes from the back of the drawer to the front of the drawer, where you guys as consumers said that you convert. Does that make sense? Okay. CRM and online scheduling, I'm going to come back to. Essentially, you got to have the ability to convert. Everything else is designed to make that popular, since that's where decisions are made. Everything else is to make each individual page on your website so popular that Google moves it up the ranks and makes you an option for what you want to sell in the city you want to sell it. Okay, so let me give you an example. If I look for AC installation, oh my gosh. Jeez. This is what happens when I spend a week in Hawaii. I can't type when I come back. All right. We're going to go to Delaware. Okay? AC installation in Delaware. When somebody does this search, there's a certain number of pages that open up in this drawer. How many pages are in here? In order for you to make any money for that search, as a consumer, where do you convert? In the top 10. You need to be in the top 10 of that number. Okay? Every individual page in your website gives you the option to get into that drawer. So if you have one page titled AC installation in Delaware, that page is going to go into that drawer. Whether it's in the back of the drawer or the front of the drawer depends on the popularity of the page and a bunch of other factors. All right, so let's change this. Air conditioner installation in Delaware. Is there less pages in the drawer? Yes? Give me a city that's outside of Delaware that you would still want to market to. Who is from Delaware? Give me a city outside of Delaware. Smaller, a town.
Elton,
Spell it.
E-L-A-T-O-N.
Okay. So, for me, as an entrepreneur, I'm an investor in my business, which means I'm going to spend some time and spend some cash, some money, in order to convert my time into cash. Cash creates freedom. I would rather, let's say that the population here is much, much, much smaller than Delaware, which probably is, yes? So is the competition. I only need to be in the top 10 of 218,000 to start making money. Why do I make money? Because I'm an option on page 1 of Google where people are looking for the service I want to sell in the city I want to sell it. It takes us about 30 days per 100,000 pages to climb the ranks, if everything's done right. So how long would it take for you to get ranked page 1, number 1, for that search term? Takes us 30 days per 100,000 pages. 2 months. So I would rather have 100% of that air conditioning installation work in Elkton in 2 months than have 0% in Delaware, because there's 40 million pages in there. Does that make sense? Cash flow, the easy stuff first, then bootstrap your way to the harder stuff. Where's your address at? Is it in Delaware? So, you got to fight both at the same time. Google wants you to be an expert in your primary location first before it's going to give you credence in other cities around it. So you got to work on both at the same time. Okay? If you have an office and it's in a highly commercial area, not a lot of residential, that's oops. You still have to market and optimize residential air conditioning services and heating services in that city, even if there's no clients there. Because Google's not going to let you out of your own city first. Okay? So, here's the difference. Or I'll show you one that's already there. So if I look for furnace maintenance in Ferndale, Washington, there's 300,000 pages. First thing you'll see, this is one of our clients, Barron's, shows in the maps. That's first. Because they have a physical office in the maps. This maps, by the way, is step 4 on that 12-step program. Okay? They also show on page 1, number 1, 2, and 3. Their percentage of opportunities they're going to convert is much higher, and every time they gain another position, it's going to grow, because where consumers are looking, they rank the best. What do they have here that none of their competitors have below?
Reviews?
Right. That's part of development, and it's called schematic markup. Without being too much of a nerd. Where you get your reviews matters. Somebody that's selling some garbage review software, they don't care and they don't think strategically, so it doesn't matter. But you have two places that matter first for you to get reviews. Priorities. Number one, the most visible place on Google, which is on your Google business listing, your Google Maps account. Why? Because if you get a referral, because somebody knows who you are, if they search for your name, you got to protect your referral business first and foremost. This number matters. The most important number is on your Google Maps account. Google Business Listing is what it's called. Step 4. If I went here at 5:01, okay, let me go back to the other search. If at 5:01, actually, if at 4:31, I went to go do this search as a consumer, this one is going to say closed, opens tomorrow at 9. Our client and competitor say open 24 hours. Do they provide emergency service? No. Do they leave in the middle of the night? No. But they're open to take appointments, step 3, which is online scheduling, 24 hours a day. Why? Forget about your business again, go back to consumer. Mom, dad, husband, wife. When do you get to take care of your personal to-do list, your home stuff? After work. Surely not Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So every one of you that is broadcasting, hey, we're totally closed right now, after 5:01, if there is another option for a consumer to get that appointment off their list, to get it out of their head, because women are like ping pong balls, until all that stuff is checked off so we can go to sleep. All we need is the appointment set to talk to you tomorrow at noon or 10 about whatever we need. That's it. I just need to get it off my plate. That's where the online scheduling system comes in. Make sense? Okay. So, I'm going to go back to the 12 steps. Step 1, branding a website. Step 2, content. Every individual page allows you to get into the drawer, a different drawer filled with pieces of paper, and if made popular, it will be your cash machine and your way to freedom. CRM and online scheduling, it's a contact relationship management system, and the ability to schedule an appointment with you to get it off my plate for tomorrow, whenever. Okay? Local listings. I showed you one local listings account, which was your Google Maps account, also known as Google Business Listings. There are 70 plus local directories that matter. I'll give you a big one. If I say, hey Siri, what's the best HVAC or air conditioning repair company in Houston, Texas? Here, or
Okay,
on here,
here's what I found.
it is not pulling from your website. It is only pulling from Google Business Listings, City Search, MapQuest, Bing, Yelp, Google, Yellow Pages, keep going, okay? If I talk to my phone, if I talk to Google Home, if I talk to Alexa, you guys know what those are? Okay. AI doesn't communicate like somebody typing into a website or into their phone. When they talk to a device, that pulls something totally different. Local directories. So, this is, I'm going to make this bigger. This is 130 dealers. That's where they're at on We've got them listed on 8,426 individual directories. Yahoo, Bing, Google, and so forth. City Search, MapQuest, Apple, Amazon, so forth. In order to make these listings popular, it's just like a website. If it's old and stale, it's not going to go anywhere. We have to add content all the time. Same with the website. Google wants to know, are you relative? That is, for the services and or cities that consumers are looking, do you have content that's relative to what they're looking for? Are you current, which is the frequency of new content? And are you trusted? Reviews. Same thing you want as consumers. So we've done 168,000 updates. We've suppressed, played defense, on 1,900 duplicate listings. For anyone not effectively managing your local directories, have you guys ever seen one of these comes up and it says, is this your business? Claim this business. Okay, if you don't have a subscription, login, and password ownership, anyone can claim your listings. That's that 1,900. These are the number of times for 130 dealers that a competitor has set up a listing with your brand name, your address, my phone number. And I'm happily answering your calls. It happens every day. Every day. Okay. Here's what this looks like. Every single dealer, and it's entrepreneurs in general, when they start, they have no traffic. Even if they're paying a Reach Local or something for local marketing and they don't know what to ask, is anything actually being done? They have zero traffic. It takes us 6 to 9 months to get those pages to start getting seen. When they get seen, people start calling. They start asking for directions. They start going to visit your website. And you start making money. All these directories, over 70 directories, we manage under one umbrella. Instead of you paying thousands of dollars in subscriptions to go set these up, we buy them in bulk. We manage them all at the same time. So there's efficiencies, things you can do that are much more efficient. Make sense? More traffic, more dollars.
Is that like Yext?
Yep, we use Yext, okay? And we manage all of the setup and content publishing and optimization. So inside the system, we can add products and services. That's tied into websites. The more links back to interior pages, the more popular they become. So everything is interconnected, okay? Now, we'll go back here. So that's local listings. For between $200 and $300 a month, that can be taken care of and keep growing if you do it in bulk instead of one by one. Reviews. Okay, we talked about where to get reviews. Your local listings directories. The most important place, number one, is your Google Maps account. So when you get a referral or when somebody's looking up your company name to validate you, this looks good. Okay. We had a client that we had on page 1 of Google for over 240 search terms. But he would not do anything about this number. He had 16 reviews and an average of 3.1 stars. I can't help you. Like, I can bring all the traffic in the world, but if consumers get there and it doesn't look good, they're out. This is why order matters. If you go pay an SEO company to make you number 1 on Google, but you don't take care of this, you lose. Okay? If you build a great website and have a horrible server and security team with no maintenance, you lose. If your social media account, the last time you posted content was 2010, you lose. If you have a great website and no or horrible content, you lose. Everything is connected. If your Google business listings, if your local directories, if they don't match, if they're not perfect, Google can't tie you together, you lose. If you buy a domain name and you don't own it, or it is set up with some other company's name, and Google can't tie your domain to your main company brand, you lose. So, every piece, it matters. And here's the challenge. Okay, it's, on one hand, I get it. As a business owner, what you guys want to be able to do is hire a company and say, you just go take care of it. But you got to show up, suit up, and participate. You got to have a really good team of advisors that understands every element. Because whatever they're an expert at, if I take my team and I put them in a room and we have 100 of them, they're all experts at something individual. When my social media person starts talking and then my pay-per-click person starts talking, they sound like only that is the best solution. They sound good because that's what they know, right? What matters is strategically, where does all this stuff fit, in what order and what logic, so that you can start making progress. Progress is what creates growth. Growth creates freedom. Make sense? Okay. So, back here. The second place that's most important for reviews. And let me just, if you click on this 12-step roadmap, you can download the whole roadmap. There are 12 steps, 12 stages. You're not going to do everything at once. It's edging forward. Every season, every quarter, at least spring and fall, you add something else, keep edging forward. Okay, a lot of times what people do is they just keep quitting over and over and over, starting over with a new company, They don't make progress because they're always starting over. There's no logic and no long-term plan. The other thing I'll warn you of, our team is going to call you and they're going to bug you for a strategy session. Have they already? Darcy? Oh, for you.
For me?
Yeah?
Yes, they have last week.
Okay. So they're kind of like gnats. But you don't hire a personal trainer to let you just sit at home. You got to have somebody that is going to push you to say, okay, as a business owner, what's working? Do more of it. What's not working? Reallocate it to something that is. And the best and most important question everybody should have multiple times a year, what's next? What's next? What am I not doing yet that I need to do to make progress? Because progress creates growth. Growth creates freedom. All right. So, reviews. All right. So there's a little trick. If you put in the word site, then a colon, and then immediately put in your website address, no W's. What it's going to do is Google's going to show you what does Google index, what does it see as it relates to your website. So for this one, Google sees 585 pages of content. I will tell you from a lot of experience, that number, the number of pages on your website, directly relates to your total gross sales. If you have 20 pages on your website, you are probably doing less than $1 million in sales. If you have 500 to 1,000, you're probably doing between 5 and 10 million. Now there are exceptions. If the quality sucks, that doesn't count, right? So, but ballpark, the higher this number is, if the website is designed correctly, meets current standards from a development standpoint, the more content you have, the more potential searches you can show up for to sell more of your products and services. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, to have a website compliant in today's environment, Google came out with a new initiative called the Mobile First Initiative, which is different than mobile responsive. You guys remember when Google made everything required to be mobile responsive? Like 2015? No? Okay. We have a little work to do. So, this is the difference. See what's on every one of these pages? What do you notice it's different? What does this site have compared to, somebody give me your website. SHA. So, your site is set to no index, no follow. The way it's set up on the server, your server and your website is set for Google not to come see that site. So it doesn't show one page.
What is that? I don't understand the site with the colon. Is that something that's...
There's different ways to search on Google. That way is going to say, Google, show me everything you see for this site in your directory. So it can't see anything because the site's set up for no index, no follow.
It doesn't give me a show like a whole bunch of.
It's not going to work on your phone.
What's that?
It probably is not going to work well on your phone. What's your website?
DMS HVAC.
Okay. So you have 7 pages indexed by Google. 5 minutes?
A D.
D. Gotcha. 760 pages? That sound right? That's yours. You have a sitemap. So think of these like pieces of paper. Google has to file each one of these. And it's based on all the titles, essentially. So this title of this page is FAQ. Instead of air conditioning frequently asked questions or heating frequently asked questions. Remember, you guys run 2 different companies, minimum, depending on where you're located. You have a heating business, which, if you are from or on the East Coast, consumers refer to it as, if they were born and raised in New Jersey, they're going to say furnace installation, furnace repair, furnace replacement, furnace maintenance, furnace tune-up, blah, 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 boilers, heat pumps, and so forth, right? If you're from California, the word furnace is scary. Something you see in Freddy Krueger's basement. It's got teeth and fire. Okay? They use the word what? Californians, Oregon, Washington. They say heater installation, heater replacement, heater tune-up. They use a different phrase, different content, different drawer inside Google's directory. Anything that's generic on your website. So here, this page is called coupons. So you take the page, go look, and you're going to be in a drawer with 556 million other pages of coupon sites. Versus if I had new AC unit discounts. $92 million. Now I start showing up with heating and air conditioning. If you add location, where are you guys located?
Frederick.
Say-
Frederick. FREDERIC.
Now there's 4.9 million. Okay, so you got to be really careful on what these are called. This page, you guys have, so this is all your pages. This is your site. These are all your pages. You guys have a junk drawer in your kitchen? Okay, that's what most HVAC websites pages go into. The word FAQ, junk drawer. The word coupon, junk drawer. The word services, junk drawer. Contact us, junk drawer. Our services, junk drawer. So when you want to know what is that page about, remember, what do you want to sell? How is the consumer looking for it? And in what city do they live? That'll get you into the right drawer. Okay? So let me show you. I'll just pull some up. So you'll notice here, so these guys went with less expensive shoes. They combined the word service and repair. That's going to dilute that page's efforts by 50%. Okay? Then they have installation and replacement. So you're going to get 50% of the value on each one of these. Let me show you the difference. You'll notice here we have air conditioner installation, air conditioner replacement, air conditioner service, air conditioner repair, air conditioner tune-up, and keep going, right? And here we have by city, 3. What do you want to sell? Where do you want to sell it? Unique content. When you tie everything in together, okay, content is step number 2. Reviews are step number 5. When it's tied together, I can create a page for the city I want to sell, focused on the services I want to sell to, and if I spend my time capturing reviews and using the reviews as content on my site by city, now the mere process of acquiring a new review in a new city is going to help you find a new client. When they're done in that order. A new review in a new city is going to give you a new page so you can go get found in a new city and you didn't have to pay to have someone write the content. You're going to start seeing those pages pop up here. Notice exactly what we're looking for. That's what Google is searching for in the text, in the content, in the link, in the title. If it's generic, it can't file it. Google doesn't know what to do with it. Does that make sense? Okay, so here's this in a nutshell. If you successfully do step 1 through 6, I didn't cover social media yet, you effectively started doing SEO. If you jump, search engine optimization is the process of getting moved and ranked on page 1 of Google for what you want to sell in the city you want to sell it. If you bypass all these, this will never work. Make sense? Okay, so I'm going to recommend you guys, there is a form there. I'm out of time. I made it out of 12 steps to 4, 5. Fill this form out if you guys want us to do a complimentary evaluation and strategy session. Franklin has a series of websites that are already pre-configured that you can get $30,000 website for a very small investment because they're pre-configured with this stuff included in them. But you guys submit these over to Michael or Jamal or Kathy. Make sure your website address is on here and we'll get you set up to have a strategy session. And you should do it as a client every year, minimum every year. You're never done. Is this helpful?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Make sure you leave those and have a great rest
What
of your
was that
day.
called? That site thing? That our pages didn't show up. What was that called?
Oh, just site, and then your website.
Yeah, I know,
oh, you need, your site is not set up to no index. It's set up for no index, no follow.
No
There's
index.
no follow. There's probably more issues than that because that means it's missing a robots.txt file. You might not have a sitemap. You need to sign up for the strategy session. Get a list.
Wow.
Okay? You guys are awesome.
All right,
Thank you.
the next
Love you,
section is
thank
coming
you.
in. You got to get them out there.